Sometimes making life feel lighter doesn't need big changes. Even letting go of a few small things can create a sense of calm and clarity in your home and life. So here are 20 easy things to declutter today. Number 1, tech or shoe boxes. It is so easy to keep these. Phone boxes, smart watch boxes, shoe boxes, they often feel too nice to throw away. I also used to keep them thinking I might need them if I ever returned something. And sure, that makes sense for a while, but if they have been sitting there for years and you are sure you are not returning that phone or those shoes anymore, then they're just wasting space. You don't need the box to use the item. They add no real value to your life, even if they kinda look nice. Clothes that don't fit or feel good. We all have clothes like this. Jeans that cut into your waist, shirts that are a bit too small or feel itchy, shoes that cause blisters every time you wear them. I used to keep shoes like that, thinking that one day they will just fit better, but they didn't. They were just very tight for my feet. So if something feels uncomfortable now, most likely it's not going to suddenly feel good later. 3. Photos and videos people sent you. Our phones save so many things automatically. Screenshots someone shared with you, videos of fireworks a friend sent, photos from someone's trip that you will never re-watch. Your gallery ends up full of things that aren't even your own memories. So if it's not meaningful to you, in my opinion, it doesn't need to stay there. Deleting them makes it easier anyway to find the photos and videos you actually care about. I'm sure you'll survive without that photo of food your friend sent you 3 years ago. The next thing to declutter is books you are not actually excited to read. We all have books sitting on our shelves that we have never started. Maybe you bought them thinking that you should read them, or maybe they were gifts you weren't really interested in. Anyway, every time you see them, there might be that tiny guilt for not reading it already. If you know you're going to read it or collecting books is your hobby, then keep it. But if it's there just collecting dust, letting them go frees up room for books that you actually love and want to pick up and want to have there. Also, consider the fact that someone else might really enjoy that book if you just donated it. 5. Expired pantry items. Sure, like some things can still be used after their expiry date, but if they smell off, look weird, or you know deep down that you're never going to use them, you should just toss them. Clearing out expired food makes your kitchen feel instantly better. It also makes cooking feel lighter and easier because you know exactly like what you have and what you don't have and what's good to use. Browser bookmarks you never use. Bookmarks are useful and I really suggest using them, but too many end up being just digital clutter, like random websites from old projects or articles you plan to read later but never did. If you haven't opened a link in months, it's probably not important enough to keep a shortcut to it. I only use bookmarks for websites that I only use like every week. It makes finding what I need faster and keeps my browser much more organized. Number 7, paperwork you don't need anymore. Most paperwork just ends up sitting in a drawer, never touched again, or at least that is my experience. We keep it because it feels like being a proper adult, like we are organized. But often it is just clutter, bills from years ago, maybe some expired warranties or old bank statements. These things are not helping you live better today. You can access most things online now if you ever really need them, and that warranty for a blender you don't even own anymore isn't doing much anymore for you except just taking up space. Random notes in your phone. Notes apps are great, but they can easily turn into a forever dumping ground for every thought. I used to keep all my notes and basically never delete anything, just in case. I had some grocery lists there, random thoughts I never acted on, and maybe even like some shared expenses from a trip that I had with my friends like 2 years ago. But when you scroll back, like 90% of it is useless now. You don't need to keep every random idea you have ever had. I think it's there more to support you today, not archive things that you have already moved past and are not returning to anymore. The next thing to declutter is old chargers and cables. We all have them, those random cables at the bottom of a drawer, the ones you don't know what they are for. I used to have a lot of these as well. But now I think that if you don't know what it even belongs to, you are not going to use it probably ever. Most devices now come with their own updated cables anyway, and most I think use the USB-C cable, so it's like a standard one for so many of them. This week I actually found an unopened Nokia car charger in my grandfather's garage. He hasn't had a phone that fitted in it over a decade, probably more like 15 years, so it was definitely time to let that go, even if it could be like useful one day. Keeping cables for just in case might feel safe, but they're mostly just clutter, taking up space that you could use for other things, if any. Number 10, greeting cards you have kept out of guilt or obligation. I used to keep every card when I was younger, like birthday cards or these holiday greetings card, all these type of things, because I felt so bad throwing them away. But the truth is, they just end up in a box somewhere, never seen again. So I think the card did its job the moment that you received it, and maybe it made you smile. You are not being ungrateful by recycling cards that you don't need anymore. And if there's a message that truly means something to you that you really want to keep, then keep it. And also you can just take a photo of it before letting it go. Like that way the words stay with you without all that like physical thing. And then we have old calendars and planners. These might feel harmless to keep, but they are not helping you plan anything now. They are filled with past appointments, tasks, and plans that have already happened. So there's not a lot of value in them, even if they have nice designs or pictures or something like that in them. Contacts that you don't need. Up until about a year ago, I had so many phone numbers saved in my phone. And I realized when I was going through it that more than half of them weren't even part of my life anymore. They were old classmates I never spoke to, work colleagues from jobs I had years ago, Airbnb hosts, services that I used once, things like that. They were just numbers I had collected over time. So of course decluttering them felt easy and also smart. If I ever needed them again, I could probably just find the number online or reach out to them through some social media platform. So now scrolling through my contacts and seeing only the people who actually matter to me makes my phone feel much more intentional. 13. Old running shoes or trainers you no longer rotate. Shoes have a lifespan. I have realized that by now, especially this week when I have noticed that I had kept mine or some of mine even for way too long. Old and worn out shoes lose the support and can even cause injuries over time. So keeping them doesn't make them useful or better. Again, maybe you could have like one extra pair for yard work or something like that. But if you run between 1,000 and 5,000 miles or kilometers per year, like many runners do, it's better to recycle most of them once they are worn out and not hope that they would magically feel better again. 14. Socks with holes or no pairs. Socks are one of those things that get lost and no one knows how or why they wanted to escape. It's really crazy. So then you're just left with a single sock and you have no idea what to do with it anymore. And then there are also socks that have the toes peeking out. I'm all for being frugal and getting the most out of what you own, but there is a difference between being frugal and being cheap with your comfort. Your feet definitely deserve better than half a sock. So go through your drawer and get rid of those lonely socks and the ones with holes today. It is such a small thing, but it makes getting dressed feel a bit nicer every morning. The next one is email subscriptions you never read. Getting store promotions, random newsletters, and notifications from apps you don't even use every day adds clutter to your inbox, but it also adds clutter to your mind even if you don't realize it. Seeing those unread emails pop up again and again creates this tiny stress that builds up over time. Your inbox is not meant to be like a dumping ground for companies to talk at you every day. It's supposed to be there for things that truly matter in your life right now, or at least that is my opinion. So today, take a moment to unsubscribe from the emails that you never read. This only takes a few clicks anyway. And while you have your email open, check your drafts folder too. It's easy to have a lot of unnecessary stuff sitting in there. Some old drafts that you never finished, notes you wrote to yourself in an email, or messages you decided not to send after all. If you didn't send it then, you probably never will, and deleting them makes your email a bit more organized, which gives this nice feeling. 17. Accessories you never wear. Keeping family items or meaningful gifts is fine and can even be important, but if you bought something yourself or it doesn't hold deep meaning and you haven't worn it in months or years, you probably should at least consider letting it go. Our styles change over time and that is completely okay. Keychains you don't use. We all get these promotional keychains from events or from companies, or even these souvenirs from family and friends. But a really good question to ask yourself is, how many of these do you actually and realistically need? If you don't have them on your keys, they are probably just clutter sitting in a drawer or a bowl somewhere. Keeping a special one or two, of course, is fine, but the rest aren't adding anything meaningful to your life, so you can just let them go. Receipts cluttering your wallet or drawers. Keeping receipts until you are sure you will keep the item is fine, but after that, they are not really needed anymore, but they build up super fast in your wallets, in your pockets and drawers and everywhere. And then when you actually need to find one for something specific, because for example, you are returning something, it's very difficult. So just go through your receipts and make sure to declutter all the ones you don't need. It is a small thing, but it feels very good to open your wallet and see that it doesn't have anything useless in there. Number 20, digital downloads folder. For years, my downloads folder in my PC was like a digital junk drawer. It had hundreds of random documents, PDFs, and old installer files, especially those. And I only ever opened or needed those, usually just once. And still, I never deleted anything, even if they were completely useless. Not sure why, but when I got my new PC, I decided it was time to change this habit. So now I only keep files I am actively using or know I will need soon. This makes it much easier to find the files that I'm actually using and needing. So this type of digital minimalism definitely works, and I think everybody should do. Hope you got some decluttering ideas from this video. If you would like to get more ideas, check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you in the next one. Ciao.